Thanks y'all for being here.
This is the time that I say something, and I don't know what it is going to be because I've practiced in rote and spent days and days, and I have no idea what this thing is. But then again, neither do you. But isn't that the joy of it? We had no idea that 13 years ago that we would be here, and not only that, it's not me, it's two entirely different people. And that things would be better instead of worse. How weird is that? But it happened. And here we are. A lot of stuff I was going to say, but I just want to say you're not the same person. I'm not the same person, and that's okay by me. And it's kind of a caricature. Okay, I'm in my 50s now and everything like that. So you typically expected to trade your wife in on the upgraded model, and it's like I gotta say, score, because. So let's do this, and let's not till death do we part, but till we become different people again, and let's do it all over again. Are you up for that?
I am. Unlike my husband. I better do this.
Yeah, that is double-sided.
Light.
Is it only one page or is it 5?
It's double-sided.
But it's
Okay.
large print because I'm old and I didn't want to wear my granny glasses.
Makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah. So, Paul, when we first met, do you remember how I said I didn't want to fall in love? I didn't want to be in love because I didn't trust that temporary state of infatuation.
Absolutely.
And that bothered you. Yeah, I didn't want that, but I did trust that I was ready to begin the process of learning how to actually love, and particularly to love you and all your peculiarities. And it's been 13 years, lucky 13 years, since the past 5 have been doozies with boat. I hear coyotes. You helped me with so many things in that time. Among others, where is he? You helped me finish raising my son Zane.
What's up, dude?
And showed him, along with his father, you showed him another way of being a man in the world.
In fairness, I didn't raise most of the biomass.
Now he's independent and taking care of himself, and also learning how to love. Stella's here with us, and a beautiful man. I'm glad we were able to help create together. We grew the biodiversity group together and did so much good, and got burnt out, and then put it in where Scott Lawson and Ross put it in good hands, and moved on. We both lost more family to death. We made the crazy life change of living on a sailboat on the Sea of Cortez in Mexico, which has challenged every cell of my body. And you very patiently and compassionately worked with me through the journey into menopause. It's been incredibly awakening. I thank you for that. But all of this, has shown us our mutability. As you said, we are not the same people. And since then, our relationship has really taught me that a good partnership isn't about always agreeing and getting along with everything. It's actually about pushing each other's buttons, but developing such deep trust that even when we're going at it and we're upset with each other, we know deep in there we're going to learn something from that and come out the other side stronger and with more understanding. You've shown me by believing in me, by pushing and supporting me just the right amount, sometimes a little too much, but just the right amount, the real power and true beauty that I am capable of generating. And for that, I'm really grateful to you. I couldn't have done this before I met you. You helped me bloom. You've shown me that rather than staying safe by staying out of the way when you need help and can't ask for it, and when friends need help, that instead of hiding myself away because I think I'm going to make it worse, to actually just go and be there with them. And I'm really grateful for that too. A year ago, I asked you to marry me all over again, and you said yes. But indeed, we are very different people. You said yes, but I hope you know that if you had said no, that we would have still moved on in our own ways, lovingly and compassionately, and supporting each other to fly in our different directions. And we may at some point decide to do that, and I remain open to that if that's what's best for us. We have friends here who've made that decision and are flying on their own now, and we celebrate you all for any mindful and deliberate decisions you make to be together or not. So this is a celebration of that more so than just one decision. I'm halfway saying. When we first had our wedding blessing ceremony 13 years ago under the whirling dervish of that giant old saguaro, we were surrounded with flowers. I wore them in my hat, I held them in my hand because we were ready to bloom. Now we've surrounded ourselves with butterflies, and I have feathers because instead of blooming, I'm ready to fly with you. What does that mean? That's one of those things you say, but what does it really mean? So we're going to get down to it. Paul, I am ready to leave behind unhealthy ways of thinking. Ways our culture taught us how to be a man and woman, what we're supposed to be. Are you ready for that?
I am.
Paul, I am ready to learn to feel the touch of a man, your touch, not as a manifestation of mankind's extractive and rapacious greed, but instead as the straightforward giving of a gentle, patient, thoughtful, and truly generous man's attention and care. Are you ready for that?
Oh, yeah.
Thought menopause taught him a few things, but I guess not. I'm ready to bravely drag our worst selves out of our acquired dens of shame and learn to love and care for them so we can each heal and change and grow. Are you ready for that? It's going to be kind of ugly sometimes. I'm ready with you to release the cage bars made of old attachments so we can transcend and soar beyond our anxieties and fears of truly free and live in true freedom. Are you ready for that?
Yeah.
I'm ready to work together to honor and embrace our authentic selves so we can each do the work in our lives that is our greater purpose. Are you ready for that?
Yes.
I'm ready to accept that one day, one way or another, I will lose you to aging, illness, and ultimately death. And this is hard for me because of all the loss I've had in my life. And I've held back fully loving, but I'm ready to take that risk. I know I'm going to have that loss. Are you? Well, I am ready to embrace uncertainty, discomfort, mistakes, and of course, absurdity in order to really fly with you. Are you ready to fly with me?
I'm ready to sail.
It's a form of flight.
Literally sail.
So now it's time to hear your blessings for us. And I realized there are people I didn't see before we came. We thought it would be fun, and we're not going to be perfect at it, but to try to figure out who like the oldest friends are in our lives and family. So obviously Matt, Paul's brother, would go first, and my old friends, and then move up to the most recent friends, and we'll end with Keith, who's our music guy, and he'll lead us into the next thing. So, Matt, where's your brother, Paul? Oh, three of us just looking back.
He's like,
almost as long as you've known yourself. And it's hard to like collapse all that into a single blessing to do. But here's what came to mind. You'll notice I'm wearing this lovely Aloha shirt. And I wear shirts like this all the time because one of my favorite places in the world was Hawaii. Paul and I were there for a little while when we were little, and it's the one place I remember just kind of unequivocally that this is an awesome place. And one of the things I learned there, thanks to the lax health and safety rules, is that you didn't have to wear shoes to school, or at least I remember it that way. And I'm sure all you like I took advantage of that a lot. And then we left Hawaii. We had to because it was time to move on. The modern world and what the world expects of you. I think if there were ever two keys in it, you two. So I feel not only that you have been blessed, that you deserve all the blessings you have. And as you go on into this new phase, the blessings continue to
talk and listen and dance, always dance.
Oh, we will. Thank you.
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia.
I do have one.
You've
You,
known her
you, you've
longer.
known her longer.
Okay.
We don't have to be exact. I like the game.
So I chose a Native American blessing because I know the Tohono O'odham tribe and all of the Native American influence in southern Arizona. I know how connected you are, Joe. I'll try my best to call you that. It probably won't stick, but I'll try. How connected you are, and as well, Paul, to the land, your surroundings, much more so than I think I ever have been. And I really admire you, Stephanie, for that and for that part of your spirit. So I also heard that the Tohono O'odham tribe and the Apaches were very, very much warring enemies. So I hope this is not an Apache blessing. If it is, please forgive. But
Hook'em land here.
exactly. So part of it I got on the back of the skull, but I couldn't get all of it on. And so it goes like this. If I can find where it starts. Please hold. May happiness be your companion and your days together be good and long upon the earth. Treat yourselves and each other with respect and remind yourself often of what brought you together. Give the highest priority to the tenderness, gentleness, and kindness that your connection deserves. When frustration, difficulties, and fear assail your relationship, as they threaten all relationships at one time or another, remember to focus on what is right between you. In this way, you can ride out the storms when clouds hide the face of the sun in your lives, remembering that even if you lose sight of it for a moment, the sun is still there. The sun is always there. And if each of you takes responsibility for the quality of your life together, it will be marked by abundance and delight. And this is what I hope for both.
Thank you. Yeah.
So I chose a traditional British blessing, which I didn't realize ahead of time, but it's kind of nice because it doesn't really bind you to any decision you make today. It's open to anything you decide in the future. And it goes, may the joyous days ahead of you be greater in number than the cigarettes Keith Richards has behind him.
Most excellent.
Sand down your rough edges. Because it's the knobby parts that hold us together.
Aw, beautiful. Aw, love it.
In the spirit of keeping it short and sweet, because there is, I think, about 40 people here, like you said there would be. There was something that I said to you, I know that you liked a long while back, but you weren't the perfect parents, but the ones that I needed. And I know that you'll keep being that wherever you are, whether it's on a boat in Mexico, up on top of the mountain, I don't know, some made up country somewhere. Yeah.
Yeah, go for it.
Anyone jump
As long
in?
as we save
Oh, please.
Keith for last.
All right.
Yeah. I think Sam and
I'll
then
jump
just
in.
let's
wiggle around.
finish
Okay.
up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've known Steph and Paul for 13 plus years, and I'm always impressed by how much of a steward they are of their relationship. Something for me to aspire to someday. And I simply wrote, may your capacity for reinvention and your unwavering mutual acceptance continue to flourish in the continuing labor of your love.
Oh, Sam is beautiful.
You can skip if you want. Yeah, that's okay.
Tell us later.
Yeah, you wrote it down, Frank.
Well, I haven't known you very long at all, and I really appreciate that you invited me to this. I think it's great that you found each other, first of all, because you're obviously so right for each other. That in itself is very rare, and the fact that you stayed together all this time, which is increasingly rare these days. I especially am impressed by the fact that you both work to help preserve our Earth, and that's a blessing for all of us that you got together to do that. So thank you for that, and I wish you I hope that you stay together and continue to help preserve our Earth and teach people in the future. So thank you for that.
This is Joe and Mr. Dr. Paul. I will never not call you those things. Thank you for showing Zane what true love looks like. I know this is supposed to be a blessing for you, but it's more of a thank you because all you've done is blessed me.
Oh, that's perfect, Stella. Oh, beautiful.
Your free spirits and passion for each other. Oh, I'm crying.
I
I just cried.
Yeah, I know.
He is truly the biggest blessing in my life. Your free spirits and passion for each other is truly inspirational, and I know he looks up to you for that. May you both continue to grow in love as you transform through all that life has to offer. Wishing you many more happy years as a new couple.
Oh, Stella, you hit my heart.
My favorite poets, Pablo Neruda. This is from his sonnet 89. And to paraphrase what he said, when I die, I want you to live while I wait for you asleep. I want you to continue hearing the wind, to inhale the aroma of the sea, to walk the sands we love together. I want what I love to continue to live on, and you whom I love and stain above all others to continue to flourish, full-flowered, so that you can achieve everything my love directs you to, so that my shadow can trace your hair, so that everyone may know the reason for your song.
Oh, that was beautiful.
Very, very cool. And it is here, and he's like, oh, nice. And it gets to about here, and he's like, Paul, can you like get it? And I see Paul look at me and look over at him and go, no. And then it gets to about here, and he's starting to go, Paul, get it. get it. And then it gets to here. And at this point, get it off, get it off, get it off, losing it, right? And at this point, it's in the dark. There's no stores, there's no restaurants, there's no anything. I look over and Paul's there. Everybody's laughing. I look back and Paul's gone. He's just gone. And I shine my light and there is a canyon shooting down about maybe 20 or 30 feet. And I go, huh. And I looked and Paul is all the way at the bottom of this canyon, covered in sticks and rocks and leaves and mud, all of his camera gear, everything, just crying, laughing. Still. And then we all transferred from the death cricket to Paul being down there. And it was just something that it's kind of to me like it just sort of symbolizes how you are, because I know there will be many people when they are at the end of their life, they'll sit there and they will say something along the lines of, man, I wish I got to do this, or I wish I got to see this, or do this thing, or see this place. I don't think that's something you'll ever say, which is a pretty rare thing. And as far as you go, Mom, I don't really have a story, but more a way of being. Similar to, well, it's just happened too many different times. But this ties into my point about him. It's very easy in our day-to-day life to just kind of breeze past all of the small things, like the leaves on a tree or a beetle or something like that. But that's something that you've never done, and it's helped me never do that either. I look at everything. I see something in everything in nature, whether it's in the desert, which truthfully I'm not a huge fan of, but there is still so much to see. There's always so much life, life like you falling down a canyon, and life like you looking up at a tree. And I'm sure you could look at this tree for hours and always just find something. And those are two traits that I think I will be grateful for a very long time. Getting to do that as a child, and then always, anywhere I'm able to go, I look at the animals, plants, the trees, pretty much everything. So I don't know if that's quite a toast, but
It's perfect.
yeah.
And
You got it.
I want to add one thing to it because it's so perfect for the Day of the Dead. You know, when I share those things with you and that way of being that you talked about, that's my mom and my dad. That's your grandparents you never got to meet. So they are. They're here with us, and that's why being with you is so special just in and of itself. But you bring my parents and my sisters back to me as well. So you're full of many souls. You did a beautiful job. Well done, buddy.
Oh yeah.
Thank
Here,
you.
we'll do that actual.
Cheers.
Don't break the glass.
Cheers, everybody. Salud.
Cheers.
Trying to get everybody I can reach. There we go.
Cheers.
We have Zane's gonna be grilling chicken. We're typically
Cheers.
vegetarian, but someone gifted us all this chicken, not knowing we don't eat animals. So we're doing the chicken. I'm vegan, but I'm not stupid. So the chicken's happening. We've got a ton of veggies roasting, and we got La Indita mole sauce for the vegetables and the chicken. We got tortillas, rice, all that. And Sarah, at some point when someone's like done eating and starts to feel hungry for cake, let me or Sarah know. And we'll do the cake, but we'll wait until somebody's starting to feel desserty, and we can go over.
I'm desserty.
I'm
desserty now.
You're desserty right now.
I would just like to point out that it's so wonderful that Jupiter is shining down and Saturn up there too on this wonderful ceremony tonight.
Yes.
Cheers. Yeah. Thank you for pointing that out.
Well, yeah, we should move from the Bower. Somebody might want to go do an ice run though. So we have